would be where the unit has been eaten away a little bit by the unit. This shows that this has had very good maintenance on it and has had, well, the proper maintenance done to it. So there's...
Dick, is this a reusable part? Is this something that could be reused now in the condition that it's in? Or?
I would say these liners could go back in under the condition that they're in and still be reused, yes. Your pistons. Okay, your pistons here, you have your normal carbon on your crown or dome, which shows your spray pattern from your nozzle. Your upper two lands have your carbon deposits. Third and fourth lands are minimal deposits. Skirts are very clean. They would have what I call few fine vertical lines, which is a very normal situation on the skirts. Your pins have absolutely no wear to them.
No compromise, at least in that area either.
No, and the rings are all very, very good. You're showing 100% face wear on your top ring, which is very normal. Your scraper is about a 35% wear area. All of the rings and all of the pistons were free, none were broken. Your oil rings had no plugging whatsoever.
Dick, they've just brought in some more, I believe it's valve train components. Perhaps you can tell us what they are and show us any of the wear points on them?
Okay, we have these units, the rocker shaft. We have the wear units facing up. Normally they would be reversed 180 degrees from where they're sitting on the table here. But your wear areas are right here, and also back where your push tubes would fit on the back side here.
This is these areas here now, these are pretty heavily loaded, sliding pressures on them?
They would meet your crosshead piece here. So as this part, these show very light wear. They're very good. Also, if you get down in here and check the shaft, you've got no wear on your shaft, which can be a heavily loaded area, which you can get a lot of scuffing on that if you get into a bad situation with a lot of dirt in the oil.
Okay, again, considering the type of service that we put that oil through, these look pretty good shape.
These look in very good shape. These, again, as the other parts, could go right back on the engine and run some more.
Okay. How about, yeah, I see we've got the oil pan down in here. Should we take a look at that real quick?
Yeah, we can just put this up on the table.
Give me a hand with it.
Okay, we can turn it so far without dumping oil all over.
Now this basically, the material we're looking at here pretty much wipes off.
Yes.
It's pretty light.
Normally in a pan like this, you would stand it up on edge and let everything drain to the bottom for 6 to 8 hours, and then everything that is left would be your sludge.
Okay, well this one we just pulled off a while ago.
Right, so there's a lot of oil draining down in here that would drain down in your 8-hour period.
Again, looking pretty good shape for considering the service.
Considering the service it's been in, yes. Okay. This is exceptional for this engine, for not having had the oil changed in over 400,000 miles.
It was pretty much what we expected. The parts that the fellows examined and commented on, 630,000+ miles, over 400,000 miles without an oil drain, and those parts are in pretty darn good condition. It's just pretty much what we expected to see.
Yeah, it is. It's based on what we had with the V8 and the way the things went with the first engine. And no surprises here at all. Everything was just about what was predictable. I think we'd all pretty much sure what was going to look like. And of course, now we've been vindicated. It's all come out precisely what we wanted out of it. Now what we've got here is we've shown that the 100,000 mile oil change is a futuristic thing you no longer need, or not futuristic, but a passé thing. You don't need it anymore.
Right.
Take it as far as it'll go. Follow your analysis. It's right there in front of you. Do it. Believe it. Don't change your oil, or change your way of thinking.
Yeah.
And we proved that.
And the other interesting thing I thought that I'd like to point out is the fact that most of these parts could be put right back into this engine and run and run and run and run.
Well, that's what Dick from Librosol said. We could reuse every part in there. There's really no reason we took this engine down, other than we wanted to prove that these parts are still in as good a shape as any that could be put in there for this amount of mileage.
And then we got the little bonus.
Oh yeah, we had the bonus.
Yeah.
Gary called me on Thursday and said I told him to check the clutch, for adjustment. And he called me and said, you're going to have to come in here and take a look at this. We've got a problem. So I come in here, and she shows me this tube cut in half and no grease in the throwout bearing. And it's totally seized up. There's no adjustment left to this thing. So he says, we're going to have to pull the clutch out. Well, in order to get the clutch out, the transmission's got to come out. So out comes the transmission. It's sitting on this bench here. Well, it's sitting down more, wasn't up like it is here. And he takes a flashlight, looks down through the inspection cover and says, holy cow, look at this. We look down in there and there's no oil in it. Well, there's a gallon of oil, which is 1/4 of the amount of oil that should be in this transmission.
Yeah, wouldn't the level be somewhere normally up in this?
Normally here. Here's the hole, so it should be at the bottom of the hole, so it'd be right
up in here. And when it was opened up, it was down here, just barely touching the lower end of
that lower
gear.
Yeah. And this transmission doesn't have a pump. The oil has to circulate. The gears pick it up and take it all around through this housing. Same way with when you go inside, the gears are meshed and pulling the oil to the top. Now, what I had been doing